Welcome back to another episode of the Easy Breezy Boss Life. I am Lisa Sabala. With Halloween around the corner, it is a perfect time to talk about something that often scares many business owners, and that is hiring a virtual assistant. Are you feeling a bit jittery at the thought of bringing someone else into your business? If you are, then you are not alone, because today we are going to chat about those common fears and how you can conquer them. So, what are some of the fears that we all have about hiring a virtual assistant? Now, first up, the classic worry, what if they don't understand my business? Now, it is a valid concern. You are perfectly right on that. You might even be thinking, what if they don't get my brand voice? And what if they mess things up and it reflects poorly on me? But here's the thing, while it's important to find a VA who understands your business, they don't need to know everything right away. And you know what's surprising? A good VA is adaptable and eager to learn. So you need to find one who is adaptable and eager to learn. So when you're hiring, look for someone with a growth mindset. During the interview, ask about their past experiences and how they've tackled learning curves before. You'll see their willingness to jump in and get to know your business. Because remember, every expert was once a beginner, right? And I've made my share of mistakes, believe me. Now, let's tackle another big fear about hiring a virtual assistant. So some of you may be saying, I can't afford it. Like, it's going to cost too much. Oh boy, I hear this one all the time. And it is so easy to think, Lisa, I'm already stretched too thin. How can I possibly hire a virtual assistant? But here's a little secret. Hiring a VA can actually save you money in the long run. Because seriously, think about all those hours you're spending on tasks like scheduling social media posts, doing customer service inquiries, or doing engagement on social media. If you're bogged down in those small tasks, that is precious time you could otherwise be using to grow your business, to meet more new clients, to network, and to generate income. Here's something you can consider. When you think about the cost of hiring a virtual assistant, think about the return on investment. If you can free up your time by assigning tasks to your virtual assistant, tasks that you would otherwise be doing yourself, how much more can you earn with the time that you earn back? Plus, virtual assistants often work on a contract basis anyway, so you can scale their hours based on your needs and your budget. I'm going to move on to the next fear that a lot of business owners have about hiring a virtual assistant, and this is when you ask, what if I can't find the right virtual assistant? What if it's not the right fit? Now, this one often ties back to the whole hiring process because many of you might worry, what if I hire someone and they're not a good fit and I end up firing them? It's totally understandable. And here's a little nugget of wisdom I want to share with you. Hiring is always a bit of a gamble, but there are ways to make it less risky. One of the ways that you can do so and lessen the risk is to start with a trial period or a small project. This way, you can evaluate how well you two can work together without committing to a longer contract right away. It also gives your virtual assistant a chance to showcase their talents and their skills in a lower stakes environment. It is totally a win-win. Now that we've aired out those fears, let's talk about how to overcome them. So first things first, it's totally okay to feel scared. I completely understand that. Fear is actually part of growth. But instead of letting it paralyze you, you can embrace it. Acknowledge how you're feeling, but don't let those feelings dictate your actions. Here's a little action step for you. Try this. Whenever you feel fearful about taking a step or doing something in your business, write down your fears. Give it a shape, give it form, write it down. It may sound simple, right? But this act can actually help you externalize them and start thinking critically about each of the fears that you feel. Ask yourself that, what evidence do I have that supports this fear? More often than not, you'll find that those fears are based on more on assumptions rather than reality. Another way to combat fear is to educate yourself. So the more you know about the process of hiring and working with a virtual assistant, the less daunting it becomes. So what can you do? You can join forums, you can read books on leadership, or you can listen to podcasts like this one. Hearing success stories from others can inspire you and give you practical strategies for your own business, and you'll be surprised at how much knowledge is out there. And let's not forget the importance of setting clear expectations too, because having clarity from the start can significantly reduce your anxiety. It's essential to communicate your needs and goals with your virtual assistant upfront as well. So take a moment to create a list of tasks that you want to delegate. Discuss these with your virtual assistant during the hiring process as well, because it's not only gives them clarity, but also allows you to gauge their understanding of what you need. Now let's shift gears a bit and chat about building a relationship with your virtual assistant. What's the foundation? Where do you start? Now you can start simple. It's the C word, communication. Establishing open lines of communication can help you address any concerns early on and build trust with your virtual assistant too. So how can you do that? What are practical ways that you can establish trust and open lines up for smooth communication? Here's one thing that I would highly, highly recommend, and it is to schedule regular check-ins to discuss progress, to give feedback, and address any questions or concerns, because this shows your virtual assistant that you value their input and helps create a collaborative working environment. This is all about teamwork after all. Now, speaking of teamwork, you also need to encourage your VA to share their ideas during the check-ins and to share their feedback about your leadership style. This not only makes them feel valued, but also fosters a sense of camaraderie and partnership. The transparency helps both of you stay on the same page, and it's a great way to foster a sense of ownership in the work being done. But hang on, did you know that anyone who doesn't subscribe to our channel doesn't get notified when we have new videos? I know, crazy, right? So you know what to do, and we're back. As we approach Halloween and all things spooky, remember that the biggest monsters we face are often our own fears. Courage doesn't mean you don't get afraid, that you don't get scared. Courage actually means you're not letting fear stop you. And that is so true in business and even in life. So hiring a virtual assistant doesn't have to be scary. By acknowledging your fears, educating yourself, setting clear expectations, you can conquer those worries and set your business up for success. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Easy Breezy Boss Life podcast. If you found this episode helpful, you will want to watch this next video to help you delegate like a boss. I will see you there.